Hi, SRS here. Happy Independence Day, and today let's talk about a serious global issue. Now, this video is going to be very off topic, but believe me, this is among the most mind bending ones. And please just stick to my voice till the end. You must have heard of methamphetamine drug, aka meth, in the Breaking Bad series. In this video, I'll be talking about its business and market analysis, the reality of today's narco world, the economics, the risks involved, and the probable achievement. Firstly, now no one can become a kingpin like Joaquin Guzman Laura. Keep in mind, the name Joaquin has the Mexican J and hence for some cases pronounced as English H. The pronunciation of Mexicans is really weird, like the Mexican itself in Spanish is pronounced as Mexican, but we in English call it Mexican. Now, this was really off topic, so pardon me for that. Now, coming back, there's one more thing. Mexico is not the meth king, despite having the God gifted geography, the Juarez El Paso border, and the Santiago Tijuana border to transport all the drugs from the manufacturers in Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia to the consumers in USA. The meth king is Myanmar, producing 250 tons of it annually, which is at least 15% more than that of Mexico. Let's talk what's meth. It is a synthetic chemical, a type of illegal stimulant drug. Its dextrorotatory form is what we see getting abused and people getting addicted of. I'll not dive into its history or chemistry to keep this video just long. Yes, an irony here. Okay, basically it is of crystalline structure with varying colors as per purity. It is highly soluble in wide variety of solvents including alcohol and water. So why people take it? Well, generally for the euphoria caused by the dopamine, the increased libido, and mostly for the instant energy boost it provides, along with the increased attentiveness caused by serotonin and norepinephrine. What are its side effects? It can cause long-term insomnia, crazy weight loss, psychosis, violent behavior, acne, and the worst of all, the meth mouth. And I am not going to show those horrible mouths here, so go Google it yourselves. Is trying meth for short periods of time safe? Hell no. Because even in the shortest period possible, if you will stop taking it, it will however make you ill of depression, lethargy, constant craving for more meth, hypersomnia, weight gain, and the worst of all, anhedonia. After the ban of meth in 1970, its consumption has emerged as a global issue. Fed by armed conflict, political unrest, and geography, the perfect condition exists to feed a surging regional demand, booming in places one might can't expect. Malaysia was never a part of meth, but the downfall of Malaysia from second most educated country in Asia to the poorest made that happen. A mixture of meth and caffeine are combined in a pill called yaba. What does yaba mean? Well, it means crazy pill. The size of this pill makes it easy to distribute, and the simple ingestion lowers the barrier to entry for the new users. It starts the work in just 20 minutes of ingestion, but if it is burned to smoke, get the same done under 20 seconds flat. These are the reasons why billions of yaba along with the crystal meth are trafficked all over Asia. Yaba's low street value of $2 per pill makes it a tempting lifeline for the blue collar workers. Yes, they use it for the boost it gives them to cram in a few more shifts. The demand is skyrocketing due to the competition for providing cheap goods to the West in a booming economy. An underdeveloped country can't shut down the ports or slow down the movement for thorough inspection of every container. That's why we don't see these traits in grade A countries. The price per yaba pill in Myanmar is less than half of that of Malaysia. This is because of their oversupply, and hence they need to load off overseas. This is because for drugs you pay just for two things. First one is the limited supply, and the second one is high risk involved. This is why up until 2007, Myanmar produced more opium poppy than any other country. Seriously, than any other country they were producing more opium poppy. But from economical point of view, the agricultural pursuit involved was a hiccup, is a hiccup, and will be a hiccup. The crops require so much land, gets easily seen from the sky, and thereby gets easily destroyed. That's why cocaine is hard to produce, and everyone's eyes are on these cheap, well, I should not say cheap because it's not that cheap, it's basically simply inexpensive or affordable meth. Meth factories have jungle as their natural camouflage, and not much needed resources explains the case of why these factories rake a lot of money. Now, to launder such big amounts of money without any depreciation factor, the most suited way is the real estate as investment. But this is mostly seen in developing countries where people are bound to grease hands in pursuit of more. As the taxes are paid too, the government makes no real attempt to trace the money trail. There were two T, like trace, trail. Okay. So, am I suggesting one to have a look at drug business as a career? %, not. Now hear me attentively. Except Mexico, there is absolutely no place where we are seeing true kingpins who are enjoying the money they are earning. If anyone tries to get himself established in Mexico, believe me that even the clowns at the roundabout or a child cleaning your shoes, all there are working for some big cartel, big cartel, and probably his survival is, he is not going to exist anymore. Even when the son of Chapo got arrested, Mayo got into devastating the Mexico City so badly that the president had to let Chapo's son get out of the jail. Just think about a general person who will be in rivalry with them. So in which country can you remain well established and secure? The answer is in countries like Bangladesh. But do you really want to live there? Like, ask yourself again, do you really want to live there? One thing is very certain, that in this business, as soon as you are in, you can't step back, else you will have to die. This is a no way out sort of business. If you want to have fun of your money, then you know those luxury cars and those great houses, they grab the attention. So either you have to stay low or choose a very poor country to dominate the citizens through the money, which in my opinion you should not do because the DEA will actually not let that happen. Moreover, the insane profits on it, well, you all know that. But what you don't really, I should say, think about is the huge distribution factor of that profit. The distribution factor for the security, production, the distribution itself, the attack on enemies, the relations with those in power. So the profit one gets is not worth the risk he is taking of everything. Because to do it well and peacefully, one needs to live very far away from his family. And this is not something anyone wants. Coming to the poor countries, they usually have minority armed groups who fund for their fights through illicit means like drug trafficking. So if you don't have any idea of how powerful the M16 of Colombia was or the WSA of Shan State is, please don't get into this. Okay, so this was it. SRS here. Again, happy Independence Day. Bye.